Hello friends, welcome back to Havron e-learning hub tutorials on Microsoft Excel. We are continuing on fundamentals of Microsoft Excel, and like I promised in the last video when we discussed view options in Excel, promised I was going to do a video that will let us see what we could not do with the live demonstration because of the limitations of the app we're using. So this is a database that you may want to view. Is a large one. If I reduce this to C, from this A to U, it becomes small. If I zoom, the entire data overflows my screen. So there are different viewing options. I would like to start with the very one that we could not do during the live demonstration, and that is to say, right now I am going to close one of the sheets that I am working with. Alright, so I have one right now. There is only one Excel document that is open. Now, one of the view options that we can leverage the tools in Excel on is, I have this tab here, view options. I have this also, view option. I'm asking, is it possible for me to view this and this on the same screen right here? And we said yes, it was possible. So that's what we are going to demonstrate right now. Now, when you look up at the top over here, you see that this is Microsoft Excel saved. Now, I am going to create another version of this to be shown in a different window. So what I do is I come to my view here, I click it, and I click new window. The moment I click this new window, a new window of this sheet is created. Right now at the top here, you will see this is fundamentals of Microsoft Excel 2. That means there is one. So let me go back to my view and I'll switch over here. When I click this switch, it shows me that there are two. Currently two. The second version is ticked. If I click this, the first version, over here you see this is one. So actually there are two versions. So what do? I need to view these two side by side so that one of them I can now click this tab to open it up. So what I do, I still go back to this point, view, and I'm going to choose this arrange all. So it's going to stack my windows so I can see all of them at once. You can see that screen tip there. So when I click this, it's going to ask me, how do I want them to be arranged? I prefer this tiled. In your own practice, you can check how this applies to your own preference. So I'm going to click this, and then these two appears on my left and on my right. Up here, one of them is 1, one of them is 2. So I can simply come over here and click this one, while this one on my right is viewing 2. View option 2, view option 1. So that way, if I decide to check what is happening, because these are the same employees here and here. So if I want to look at what is happening to each of them, I can simply create these two windows from the same file, and I'll do what I can do. This same thing applies if you have several Excel worksheets open. You know, in this case, we have just created another version of the one that was open, but you may be working with the different files, and maybe two like this are open, and then you can work like this. You can have up to 3 files open, and you see them one after the other. You can stack 2 up, stack 2 downwards, depending on what you want to view. Okay, so this is one way we can do our view. So I'm going ahead to close one, and I'm going to maximize this again. Now let me just reiterate what we discussed previously. If I have this and I want to view what is on my right here, I can simply split my window into two vertical portions. So if I want to do that, if I want to view what is on my left, extreme left and extreme right, I come to a middle or any point at all. I select the entire column where I want to apply the split. Now I have selected column G, and I'm going ahead to click the split. The moment I click this split, it divides it into two with two separate screws, one on my right and then one on my left. So I can screw, I can watch what is happening here, I can screw here and watch what is happening here. I can compare the two. Note that even though we have a split at the middle of my screen here, it is the same thing. Each of the split screen now, this part contains the entire part of my entire sheet. You can see this is the beginning, the same thing as here. You can already see as I'm clicking here is also selected. The same thing here. So which means as you are working here, the same thing is happening here. Okay, so if I delete this, I'm writing, you can see that already it's applying here. Okay, so it's the same thing. Now let me remove this split. Now assuming that this is almost 600 or 700 records, okay, about 742 records. Okay, let me go up again, and I want to see what is happening at the top here, comparing it to what is happening below. So I can do the same thing. I guess now you can really predict that I can come here, select a row and apply a split. And the moment I do that, I have two screws up here and the other one down here. Remember again, it's the same thing that you are looking at. It's just that it has helped you to narrow and be able to see two extreme ends. Let me go ahead and remove the split. The other thing we discussed was freezing the pane, and we discussed that there are three options to freeze your pane. When we open here, there are three options. The first one is to freeze the column and the row. So what we can do, let me demonstrate that. Assuming I have things I am viewing and I want to view downward, you see the moment I scroll downward, I lose touch of my header. So if I want to look at anything here, I might not be able to say what is the header. So that will help me using the freeze pane option. It will help me to freeze a particular row. Now let me demonstrate this first one, this row and a column. If I come and click somewhere here, right now I'm clicking on D7, and I go ahead and apply this. What I have simply said is, please, whatever that is above this, freeze it, and whatever that is on the left of my selection, freeze it. So it means since I selected D, every other thing from C to A are frozen, and every other thing from 6, because this is D7, every other thing above 7, that's from 6 upward to 1, should freeze. Now if I scroll towards my right, you will see that the column C is frozen, and if I scroll downward, you see that from 6, row 6 is frozen. So that is how we can use that to freeze and see more of what we want to do. And you may find this thing particularly when you want to look at, for instance, this is the employee's name. I want to be seeing the building, I want to be seeing the department, so that I can see what is on the other side. All right, so let me remove this and I discuss this one. Now when you are freezing the top row, it means whatever that is just the row that is just beneath this my column headers, that is what is going to be frozen. If I say, if you may think when you come here and you want to freeze so that these ones will be up, I mean anyone below will be visible, it won't work. What is going to be frozen is this organization. So let's go ahead and test it. When I click this and I scroll, thinking that I have applied freeze pane here, when I scroll, you see where you have selected is going. The organization is what is frozen. So you need to be very mindful of what you want. If actually this selection is what I want to be at the top here, all I need to do is to scroll and bring it to just let it become next to this header. Then when I go ahead and freeze the top row, it freezes rather. Okay, so that is how we do that. Now let me unfreeze. Then what about the third one? This one here, freeze column, is the same thing. If whatever that is on this, just next to this row headers, that is what is going to freeze. For instance, I want to freeze this G. All I need to do is to push it, let it get to this point, and I go ahead and choose this. The moment I do that, that is frozen. So this is how we use freeze options. So there are a few other things I would like you to try out on your own, especially if you have several other Excel workbooks that are open and you want to view them separately, or you can create another window of one that you are working with, and then just try and look at these different options like horizontal arrangement, vertical arrangement, cascade arrangement. Okay, so that you get the feel of it. All right, so this is the much I have for us in the viewing options in Excel. When you have firm grip on this, I tell you, you will see an improvement in what you do, especially with time. Thank you, and let's watch out for the next video.